it was a morning game because I think was it 2002? So it was Japan, South Korea. So all the games back in the UK were stupid
Hmm.
o'clock in the morning. We had to get up and watch them.
Yeah.
And I watched us slump out, and then I still had to go to work that day. And I came out of my front door, and a guy that I knew lived on my cul-de-sac, but I'd never spoken to ever in my life, he was coming out of his front door at exactly the same moment. We traded looks. We both knew we'd both been watching the England game.
Netherlands Japan sticks out for me as the best game. I think that's going to be an incredible game. I think it's important that they start with a win. I think you're right. I don't think it's captured the American public's imagination yet. I mean, we've only just started though. But it would be great if USA could start off with a win.
Hello and welcome to Random Fandom. And that's where I'm going to stop the intro because normally we talk about following a random club all the time. But it's John, the World Cup has started. I'm so excited. Have you
It
got a
is.
wall? Have you got a wall chart?
I do not. Just on the basis that I'm nearly 50 and not 14 anymore.
See,
You're going to tell me you got one, haven't you?
well, I'm disappointed. I was trying to get my son to find the best wall chart because I normally do print one
Oh,
out, even
blame
though
it on
because like
him.
no, we can't find a good one. So a couple of years, 4 years ago, I found a decent one and I printed it out, and it
Mm.
took about 16 pieces of paper to print it out on. And back in the day, you'd get a big fold-out poster from the newspaper and you'd fill the wall chart out. And I like doing it, but they're all rubbish online this year. So anyone listening that's got a good wall chart, feel free to let us know because at least I'll do it, even though I am 50. Um, so So sorry, yeah, this is a very random start to Random Fandom. But obviously, we're out of the regular season. We're not following different teams each week. We're going to follow England, the USA, and we drew Norway out of the hat, none of which have played yet. So we will quickly recap because England have played Costa Rica since our last episode, and then we'll pick the bones out of what we've seen in the first two games and decide how overly optimistic and ridiculously excited we are about England winning it. I mean, see how far they can get. So, did you watch the friendly against Costa Rica, John?
So I don't have. So in America, they showed it on Fox 2, which I don't have, and no bar I went to or tried to go to had it on either. So I ended up watching the highlights
Okay.
and
I may have
listened to it on Five Live.
may have used VPN technology to watch it on BBC or whatever they were showing it on back home. So sorry, yes, not that you're supposed to do that sort of thing. Moving on, right? So I gotta be honest, I was quite encouraged by the game. I know it's only Costa Rica. I know it's a last friendly. I know nobody wants to get injured. Blah 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 blah. But England in the past have always struggled to impress in those types of situations, and I is a 3-0 win. I thought he gave 60 minutes to probably what is going to be his starting lineup. So, if do you read that as well? Because you said you nailed it last
Hmm.
time. You said Jude Bellingham has been given the number 10 shirt, and he started. So, you think he's got it for the opening game?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. He pretty much put our first 11 on, didn't he? Except for Saka. Um, so yeah, we had a in the first friendly it was a like a fitness session, and then against Costa Rica you kind of saw how it was going to piece together, and it is I think Tuchel described it as a Premiership team, a Premiership looking team,
Yeah.
um, and you know I don't think that you can play that in a sweltering heat. So I'm not quite sure. That's my
Well,
that's my concern.
my other
But yeah.
concern was about the sweltering heat. Is of course the game was delayed for an hour for another one of these thunderstorm warnings, which I'm sure we're going to end up talking about over the course of the tournament. We didn't get day one interrupted yesterday, but got a funny feeling it's going to play out over the coming weeks. But
Mm.
yeah, do you know what? I mean, as strange as it is to call him Barcelona's Anthony Gordon, which he is now, um, yeah, we were quite blood and thunder, like really attacking down the wings. We've had a few years where we've done this sort of slow, into the corner, then pass it back, then pass it back into midfield, sideways, 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 and try to bore the opposition into submission. But we went for it, and I'm with you. It's going to be difficult to keep up in the heat, isn't it?
It is, and I think we've finally learned how to play to Harry Kane's strengths, because we were trying to play it into him, and he likes to come very deep, and that only works if you've got runners in behind, and it wasn't quite working the way we intended it to in the last two tournaments. But I think I don't know. I've got some optimism now. This is dreadful, isn't it? Dreadful.
Let me pick you up on this. Harry Kane, right?
Yeah.
He won a tackle against Costa Rica in his own 18-yard box and then started the
Mm.
attack from back there. Now, I know his game is coming deep. My criticism of him is I think he overly drops. Like he drops way and then takes away sometimes the room from Rice or whoever else is in centre midfield. I know his strength is dropping deep. Do you think he drops a bit too far back sometimes?
No, as long as the 10 players around him understand what he's doing,
Mm.
because it allows a lot of player movement. We drag their players into spaces they do not want to be, and defenders and opposition find it incredibly difficult to mark this England team if it is working, like I believe it is going to work for this World Cup. And it's good Premier League football, but my only concern is the sweltering heat. I don't know if we might have to do that game in patches. Maybe they've got the ability to pull it off. I don't know.
Take their foot off the
But
gas for a bit and then know when to go again,
yeah,
know when to go again.
you
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
going you can't do that for the full 90 minutes in weather like that. So they're going to have periods where they're controlling it a bit more sensibly. Whether they're capable of doing that with the team he's picked or the squad he's picked, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
We're going to find out.
yeah, yeah, we are. So let's, given the World Cup has started, let's not dwell on the last friendly. It looked good. People looked in like we had square pegs in square holes. So yeah, I'm completely ridiculously over the top optimistic that we're going to win it. But there's a long way to go before that happens. So we had the first game last night, Mexico, South Africa. I tell you what, if ever, I'm not even sure I've ever seen this before, John. Actually felt like South Africa got totally overwhelmed by the occasion. They looked so nervous on the ball, like they had no idea how to pass it to somebody wearing the same color jersey as them. And Mexico,
Yeah.
if there ever was an advert for having the 12th man, it just didn't feel that it was going any other way other than Mexico. Like, it was just quite a noise in there.
Yeah, it was a great atmosphere if you're Mexican. uh, yeah, there's about you know 12 South African fans who could get there. It's incredibly expensive, isn't it? This World Cup,
It is, yeah.
not just the flights and everything like that, but the tickets and everything. It's a massive home advantage. And yeah, South Africa did look nervous. They were not good with the ball. Um, but having said that, I thought that the two sending off were yellows at best, not
The
not
first,
reds. I just felt like the first one, he's diving for it. He's clearly looking cut
yes,
across him, and he was flailing his legs, hoping to get caught by one of them. I just think it
agree. I
ruined
think
it ruined the spectacle.
the first one's harsh. The second one, I just think if it was
The
the
guy,
second one, the second yellow card was the punch, right? Which was the world's worst punch. That was the punch one, right?
right, and I guess
He's
you can't
taken a second
retaliate.
movement is the thing that gets him into trouble. Is that if that's a swinging arm as part of a natural movement, maybe he gets a yellow because no one they seem to have this an allergic reaction to a hand near a face. The fact that he's done it, passed, and then goes again, I'm like, if you're going to do a second movement, at least get sent off for a real punch because that was pathetic. But you're definitely going to get caught by VAR on that because you've got a closed fist and you've had a swing and you've completely missed him. He's fallen over and made a big meal of it. But unfortunately, in the letter of the law, you've had to swing at him.
Well, the
So
the Mexican player body checked him in the first place, which deserved a yellow, and then and then it was a pathetic retaliation. I don't know. I thought they should both have been given a yellow card and told to sort out their pathetic
Yeah, so I
barging.
am a little bit worried that's setting a precedence for what's going to be considered a red in this tournament.
Well, it
Like
broke
the
the record. There's never been an opening game with three red cards.
and,
So
and the
that's a tournament first.
and the
And
third was like, is that really last man? Like, and they're saying, oh yeah, there was an because the defender wouldn't have got across. I'm like, bloody hell! If that was in the Premier League, I'd be arguing that that defender's covering. That's never a complete through on
yeah,
goal opportunity. So that was harsh as well, I thought.
yeah, and I'm worried about the consistency because it looks like then. Well, hopefully they're not going to be consistent because if they're consistently that harsh on everyone, then there's going to be it will be a record tournament. The record at the moment is 28 red cards in a tournament.
Ooh, 28.
Um, but let's put it into context, right? Last World Cup, there were only four in the entire World Cup. Four. So we're almost at that level after the first game. so, yeah, they're all too soft, and it spoils the game. As soon as that
Yeah,
he was sent off, they were already losing, and you just felt, oh, well, that's the end of
it's
their
that.
chance, really. So
Yeah.
it's a real shame.
What I did like though, which I wasn't expecting, was that never really felt like we waited for VAR for anything. The offside seems pretty slick this time. They got that new, better semi-automated than the previous semi-automated, and the referee gets like a. Well, this is going to sound dodgy. He gets a vibration in his pocket if if there's something like 10 centimeters offside or something. So like we didn't see
Lucky
a
fella.
single.
Yeah.
uh, but sorry, you sent me for a loop there now. Um, then we got followed on. I stayed up. Well, I know you did as well because we were exchanging text messages. Then we had the late kickoff, South Korea against Czech Republic, and boy, oh boy, if when the temperature, oh, actually, I guess it was still hot when they were playing, but this one felt like two boxers going at it. If the first one was all about like the atmosphere and Mexico doing well and South Africa looking nervous, these two just went at each other from the beginning, and it was like a proper Premier League end to end. No, no, like Championship end to end. It was like phenomenal.
I was going to say, so maybe you can do the Premier League end to end, but you're right. Maybe it was more Championship, but it was a fantastic game, absolutely
Yeah.
superb. And as you know, I had predicted 2-2 at the beginning of the game, and I was an offside goal away from it.
You were,
Um,
you were.
but it was fantastic, absolutely superb. South Korea looked really good. Um, I thought that Czech sort of took advantage of the height that they had in the box, so they looked dangerous from every free kick corner.
Yeah.
So that may be an issue for South Korea in the rest of the tournament. Um, but they look good going forward. It's just an exciting game, a really exciting game to watch. Really
It
enjoyed it.
was. It really was. I think so. The first two, you know from experience, you know that somewhere in here we're both going to sit and watch a complete dud where you're like, oh my God, that's 90 minutes of my life I'm not getting back. But so far, two games, two enjoyable games. Um, and it did sort of warm you up to this one. I think each time we'll try and record quite regularly during the World Cup, and we should pick out our favorite moments, and at least one of them will have to be like best goal we've seen so far, and then we can have a random fandom goal of the tournament. So I know we've only seen five, but we chatted beforehand. I think we both agree on this one. So I think we both sort of. I put forward that I liked the Raul Jimenez goal for Mexico purely because it was a nicely worked goal, and I actually just liked the outpouring emotion. It was good to see him score at a World Cup stage after he well, the horrific head injury they had that probably could have ended his well, I was say life and career, but so it was nice
Well,
to see him score that.
worse than that is his dad died in March,
Oh, that's right, yeah.
and I think that goal he scored was kind of yes for his father, and wouldn't have been good if he'd had just stayed around long enough to witness that.
Yeah. But if we're talking about best goal rather than best moment or good feel good goal, then I think it's is it Lee Kang In, that sat
Hmm.
everybody in the stadium down on their ass
Yeah,
to
and he
score
and
that
he
little chip.
he hanged in just long enough to get that chip in, didn't he?
I tell
It
you
was
what,
a
when
beautiful finish.
I thought he was going to take it first time, and then when he stopped, and it was like taxi for the Czech Republic defence as they all went the wrong direction and sat down. I thought, well, he's still got a bit to do. And the angle that we saw it on TV, kind of scooped it rather than kind of shot. And I thought, well, that's not got enough power to get into the net. And I still think to now, I've seen like 3 or 4 replays of it. Every time, I still think the defender's going to swing his left boot and clear it. It
He does seem to sort of jog at it.
does.
So
And I don't know if it's just one of those things where when you know that it doesn't, you're done. I can't get this. It's
yeah,
just falling at a speed that doesn't matter what I do, I'm not getting there. But because I think he acknowledges that and gives up, it does kind of look like he goes, oh well, it's
it
just a
does
World
look
Cup
like
goal.
he thought it was the warm up game, not the actual World Cup. Dear, oh
But
dear.
yeah, it was. And do you know what? The winning goal was a nice move as well. Kind of, they really flood the wings with pace, and then just,
Mm.
despite the fact they haven't really got a big centre forward, they were never scared of just throwing it straight into the middle and seeing what would happen, which is quite brave when you don't have a height advantage against the big Czech guys. But that kind of first time finish after the cross from the wing was that was nice. So yeah, so 2 games, 2 wins.
Hmm.
So that puts Mexico top on goal difference of Group A.
Well, that
Um,
pretty much means they qualify in this group format, doesn't it?
yeah, because it's top two plus 8 best thirds from the 12 groups, right? So
Yeah. So I think 3 points and you're in. It used to be 4 points and you're in,
yeah,
but
yeah, I think you're
with
gonna be
this
right.
format,
I think like Czech Republic, okay, they'll be disappointed to have lost, but they'll be looking at the South Africa game. That I think if you can get, well, even finishing third with 3 points is probably going to be the norm, but a decent plus goal difference, I mean, not like a plus 1 or 2, is probably enough to get you across the line. You just don't, you want it, like they were saying
mm.
on the commentary, just if you are going to lose a game, just don't get battered because
Yeah,
that will be difficult to make up. So yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going to be, well, we are going to see more. I think we're going to see more clubs go through than we've seen. Of course, we are because it's a bigger World Cup. That's kind of
yeah.
how it is. So I'll shut up at that point. Right. So moving on to today. Yesterday was all of Group A played. So of course today it's Group B and Group D
Mhm.
because why go through the groups in order? Let's do one of B and
Why?
one of D
Yes.
today.
Let's make it more confusing for the American audience.
So we have got, as we speak, by the time you listen to this, you will most definitely know both of these results, but we won't. We're going to watch them both. So we've got Canada against Bosnia and Herzegovina, and then the US of A take on Paraguay. Now, okay, let's hit Canada first. I have a little soft spot for Canada because that's where I always go up to Montreal to watch the Formula One. They've never really done anything other than, I'm going to really make this mess up. Who's the striker that was always being courted by all the main? Is it Jonathan David? Is that a real person? Have I made that up?
Jonathan David, yeah, plays for Juve
That's all
up
right.
front
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
Canada. Yeah.
And he's just the one that has always been the shine light. I'm not sure I can name another Canadian player. Sorry, Canada. You got one, John?
Um,
See,
no,
the,
I mean
no, they don't
I'm
switch
looking at their lineup, but I don't recognise them.
exactly. So
Not household names, are they? Apart from the
yeah,
Juve
they're one of those
striker.
nations that kind of, it always reminds me of like when you'd get like Romania had Hadji, or that you'd get some of these nations that would just have one shining light, and sometimes that's enough if they can do that thing to get that goal for you or get that moment. So I think I could see Canada winning that one. What about you?
I can see Canada winning it. If you look at the statistics on host nations, it's incredibly favourable to host nations.
Yeah, it is.
So I think Canada will win, and I think the USA will win. I think there'll be um, comfortable wins as well.
Oh,
I can see.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's going to be 3-0 Canada,
Oh,
and I think 3-1 USA. How about that?
see, okay. Now they're brave shouts. I was thinking that USA might have a slight chance of having some stage fright because Paraguay aren't it's not a gimme game. Paraguay can be pretty decent. They can blow hot and cold, but
Hmm.
I just don't know whether the expectation gets, because USA need to win tonight because they
Yeah.
need to get. the crowd momentum, general public, get the feel good factor going. That if they didn't happen to win tonight, there could be a lot of, oh well, we suck at soccer. What's the point? But
Mm.
I think USA could win. I just hope what they do is. Did you see any of the pre-game stuff with Alexi Lalas?
Yeah. God,
He's
that man.
he is the human form of clickbait. They took all clickbait off the internet and turned it into a human being, and it's him because the random stuff he comes out with, he can't honestly believe what he's saying. He has to be trolling us all. To say that
Do you,
Pulisic
do
is the
you-
best
he-
player on the planet, and I'll wait until you can name one better.
do you know who he reminds me of? He's an American Piers Morgan. That's who he reminds me of. Absolute clown. But
I
yeah.
just you could just see like the other pundits are just kind of like rolling their eyes, going, "What? Oh my god, we got to
Well,
do this for like 6 weeks."
yeah. He was saying he's better than McAllister, isn't he? Who won the World Cup?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Some
Well,
some great
each
takes
to
in
their
there.
own. The world is
Yeah,
full of different opinions. Let's embrace them all.
yeah, but he gets paid for his.
Can you imagine? Wow,
Uh,
unbelievable.
I
But
know.
yeah, I think it's important that they start with a win. I think you're right. I don't think it's captured the American public's imagination yet. I mean, we've only just started though. But it would be great if USA could start off with a win and really get that feel good factor
Yeah,
going because they got a tough game at the end against Turkey. So getting points on the board early would be fantastic.
yeah, definitely. And then tomorrow, I'm just ever since I've been a kid, my eyes will always gravitate towards two first fixtures on a World Cup fixture list, which is England's first game and Brazil's first game. Now, Brazil aren't the team they used to be. I mean, even as watching them as a kid, they probably weren't even the team that had been around in the '70s. But I just love watching Brazil. I hope Ancelotti can get them back to being a bit more the boys from Brazil because they started going a little too regimented and scientific approach, which just isn't the Brazilian way. And then they've got which World Cup was it? They
See,
got stuffed by Germany 7-0 in a semi or something. It just
7-1,
7-1.
7-1. I mean, let's be fair.
Sorry.
um, 2000, 2010 was that? I think that was
Yeah, I think
2010.
so. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think I understand your sentiment there, Rob. But you're not thinking with your brain, are you?
Why?
If England win their group, sir,
Yes.
we would probably find Mexico in the round of 32, and we would play Mexico in the Azteca Stadium, which is not a given because it's 2,200 meters above sea level. Not an easy place to win. But if we manage to beat them, then we would face Brazil most likely
Good.
in the quarterfinals. So
Revenge.
do you want to revitalize Brazil?
Well, maybe not revitalized, but I would like them to win to get through so that we can beat them because I still remember, in fact, I was just talking about this week where still remember us going out to them. I think it was Ronaldinho's free kick or whatever it was that caught David Seaman out, and it was a morning game because I think was it 2002, so it was Japan South Korea, so all the games back in the UK was stupid o'clock in the morning. We had to get up and watch them,
Yeah.
and I watched us slump out, and then I still had to go to work that day, and I came out of my front door. And a guy that I knew lived on my cul-de-sac, but I'd never spoken to ever in my life, he was coming out of his front door at exactly the same moment. We traded looks. We both knew we'd both been watching the England game. And then we both went and got on the same bus and realised we both worked in the same place. We both worked in Prudential in Reading. We just never met each other. And we were just, unanimous in our disappointment, driving in and bemoaning how we should have beaten Brazil. So it's payback time. I want Brazil to be revitalised, win their
Okay.
group, get through to the quarterfinals, and then we can stuff them.
All right, I like that. Okay, all right. Maybe you have thought about it.
I hadn't up until now, but that's
Okay,
now what I
all right.
want to happen.
Yeah,
Um,
me too.
We'll get the other part of no, we won't get the other. Yes, we'll get the other part of Group B. So we'll get Qatar against Switzerland, which you've got to fancy Switzerland in that one. It just feels like a gimme.
Yeah,
That could
I
be a
think
banana skin.
I think a 2-1 victory to Switzerland. That
2-1.
Brazil, yeah, 2-1 to Switzerland. That Brazil game is going to be phenomenal with Morocco, one of the winners of the the AFCON.
Yeah, of course.
I think that might end up 1-1. They
Ooh.
look really good, Morocco. That's not going to be an easy game for Brazil. it's a tough one to start with, and that group is just like my favorite group so far because it's got Scotland in it, who
Yeah.
really hope qualify for the through the group stages for the first time in their history.
And they
So
start tomorrow. They'll go in knowing the Brazil Morocco score because they're the last game tomorrow, and
yes. Hmm.
they've got to start with a win. And you'd be looking for wanting to start with a comfortable win here, right? They're
If
taking on
if you can
Haiti, who
qualify at 3 points, then you win that game, and my God, they've given themselves an amazing chance to do it.
win that game and win it well. I'm not saying be greedy, but if you can, and I'm no disrespect to Haiti, but if you can beat them 2-3 nil or by a margin of 2-3, 4-1, whatever, then yeah, that sets you up nicely for a
Yes, it
decent
does.
third position, I think. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Let's keep trundling through some of the opening games. We better not predict every single game. We'll be here all day. When we look ahead to Sunday, then Sunday is absolutely rammed with games. Although
Mm.
technically, yeah, it's a midnight game for Australia Turkey. Um, so does that count as tomorrow or count as Sunday? Guess it counts as Sunday. We got Germany against Caraco. I can never say
Cracker.
that country's name. Yeah, Caraco. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll go with that.
Sounds good.
Netherlands against Japan. Ivory
Oof,
Coast
that's
against
going to be a
Ecuador.
great
Yeah, and Sweden
Netherlands
Tunisia.
Japan. Netherlands Japan sticks out for me as the best game. I think that's going to be an incredible game. Um,
If I
Japan
had to
look
pick,
really
yeah, go
good.
on. They do, and
Well,
I'm agreeing with you. I think that's got a big sort of upset one on the cards. I think Australia, Turkey, unfortunately, could be a bit of a snooze fest. Germany, you'd think would be too one-sided. My eye
mm,
is drawn to like sometimes you get that random game between so-called lesser teams and not the big favorites for the tournament. But Ivory Coast, Ecuador has got a chance of being a
hmm,
barnstormer.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah, I agree with that.
Sweden, Tunisia is another one. We could have another bit of a snooze fest. We might have like two dull games as the bread with crammed full of fantastic stuffing in the middle of the sandwich.
Are you hungry, Rob?
It's lunchtime, yeah. But yeah, that Netherlands Japan one, I agree. My eyes drawn to that one. The Dutch just always badged as the greatest nation never to win it, and this team is not a team that's going to win it. I'm just going to go and say that on record.
Yeah.
So
With
people have
with
too
with
high expectations, I think.
Wataru Endo, the Liverpool player, has just pulled out. He's
Oh, is he?
got an injury.
Oh,
Yeah, which is, and he's their captain and their best player. So that's a big blow for Japan.
but
Um,
Urian Timber didn't travel for. He pulled out a couple of days before the World Cup as well, so he's not gone for Netherlands. He's obviously quite honestly the best right back in the world. So
so they cancel each other out. Is that what you're saying?
yes, exactly.
All right.
Yeah,
So it's still going to be a great game. All right. Good.
good. And I think we'll probably try and I don't know. Let's say we aim for a Tuesday-ish or before the Wednesday game recordings. That means Monday we've got what has to be one of the most one-sided games in the tournament, to be honest. I might even have to put a bet on goal margin on this one, but sorry, Cape Verde, but it's
Spain.
Spain against Cape Verde. I mean, has
Oh
to be
God.
one-sided. Belgium, Egypt. Belgium, one of these teams that have always been put forward as being dark horses for the tournament, but they're a bit like England in that regard. That I think their golden generation has kind of gone past because it was when they had De Bruyne and everyone else at the top of their powers. They were like, oh yeah, Belgium are a outside bet for the tournament. They're not anymore, I don't think. Salah's gone with Egypt, right? He didn't have to pull out. He didn't play
No,
enough games for
no.
Liverpool to get injured, so
Yeah. Arne Slot is not the manager of Egypt, so he gets to play.
And then we got Saudi Arabia, Uruguay, and Iran against New Zealand. So again, no disrespect, and sometimes some of these games can be the most spectacular without necessarily knowing all of the players. But Monday doesn't look like a barnstorming day of games. It looks like a lot of maybe one-sided games in there. Not sure. So
Yeah,
let's.
I agree. Um, but you could see history being made.
Ooh,
The
okay.
the biggest ever defeat in the World Cup was Hungary beating El Salvador 10-1.
10-1.
Now, could
You're not.
Spain do that?
You think that's a.
Could.
Ooh. I don't know enough. And this is going to be. I'm sorry to any Cape Verde fans out there. I'm so ignorant of their level, but It needed the World Cup to be expanded to kind of get these guys in, I think.
Well, I just watched Cape Verde live.
Did you?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Come on then, Chief
They
Scout, tell me.
it was played in Rentschler Field, and they played Bermuda and
Ooh,
beat Bermuda 3-0. So they're not the worst team in the tournament, that's for sure. And they've got one of the nicest kits you've ever seen. It's beautiful,
really?
beautiful kit. Yeah.
Okay. Hmm. Well, maybe that will stop the goals going in against Spain then. Spain will be too. Oh, look at that kit. That's so nice that is. I can't dribble past that. Let me stop and take a look.
Yeah,
So,
but Spain are probably my favourites, maybe just behind France to win it. So
I was going to say,
it's
if
going
we
to
look at,
be.
if we just round out maybe Tuesdays, because I think hopefully then we'll get another recording done by then. But if we
Mm,
roll it, round out Tuesday, then that'll be France against Senegal. Senegal always
what's the
stick in
game?
my head from like back in the day when they first qualified for whichever World Cup it was, and they who did they beat? Was it Brazil?
France.
Oh, was it France? Oh, it was
It's
France. So
it's
it's a,
a,
it's
it's
a
a, it's
it's
a
a
replay of
replay.
this fixture. Yeah,
Ah, okay. So
yeah.
that was an amazing because that was that before you boys had signed El Hadj Diouf? That was the World Cup that
Oh
catapulted him
God.
into?
Yeah.
You guys
Oh,
signed him off the back of this World Cup, didn't you?
I know. And what a useless player.
It's like us buying John Jensen after the after he scored the winner in the Euros and then didn't score for like 400 games.
I'd rather have Jensen. Yeah.
And then,
So,
well, we'll also have Argentina against Algeria. So you would think Argentina will see off Algeria, but the big news on
hmm
Tuesday will be yes, we're going to follow USA tonight. We're going to follow England next Wednesday, but Tuesday is our random fandom team. So Norway will take on Iraq on Tuesday evening. So we'll see if we're a blessing or a curse. We've been good in our regular seasons. We've just got to see if this translates to World Cup teams. So
and
come on,
this is the
Norway.
league stage, not the cup
Yep.
stage, right?
Yes.
We're making that that
Yes,
very clear.
because we are a blessing for league fixtures and our cup form sucks. But
Yeah. Let's hope we don't follow England this tournament.
right. So, oh, okay. I was just about to start wrapping up about what we're looking forward to, and but I've just seen breaking news on BBC News. Thomas Partey has been denied entry to Canada for Ghana's opening game of the World Cup, so
Oh,
he will
geez.
not be taking part in the first game. He's been denied entry, so he'll have to see if he can work his way around that. Otherwise, he's not part of the World Cup either.
And that's to Canada.
Yeah, it's to Canada.
Because
Yeah.
if you said USA, it would be a different matter. But, oh dear, it's not great, is it?
No, so we already saw that referee from Somalia be denied entry.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we're going to, I think a running theme is going to be, unfortunately, in these first few days will be maybe stories like that. We're also most likely going to see the weather raise its head and get some ridiculous thunderstorm delays. But I'm just hoping that the noise can settle down and we'll have a cracking World Cup because it started off with two great games, 5 goals, 3 red cards. Um, and yeah, I'm looking forward to today because we're going to go and watch Canada, and then you're going to do some coaching, and then we're going to watch USA and maybe have a beverage or two.
Yes, absolutely. We're actually we're coaching with the Scottish FA at Hartford Athletics Stadium today, so that should be good. They're going to put a
Shouldn't they?
masterclass of coaching on for us.
Shouldn't they be kind of a bit preoccupied with getting their team ready for their first game?
Well, they've done such a great job. I'm going to guess with the national team that they can take a break and show us how they got there with their coaching masterclasses.
Well, I'm looking forward to coming along and watching that, and then
Mm.
having a couple of beers for the USA game. So I think we wrap it there. We look forward to those games. We'll be back in a few days to see how things are getting on, and most likely, if we can sneak one in before England, we can get ridiculously optimistic ahead of it. If not, we'll probably be after the England game, and then we'll either be really hyped or it be a very somber episode where we're predicting coming home early.
Yes.
Okay, any final words of wisdom, John, before I play us out?
No, good luck to the USA. Good luck to Canada. Hopefully, we're going to do an episode earlier next week, so we might even get in there before the Norway game. But Yeah,
Ooh, yeah, either in before or right. Well, it won't be right after, but yeah,
right
come on,
after.
Norway as well. Keep the
Come on,
random
Norway
fandom
as
flag
well.
flying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, I will
We'll,
catch you
we'll
later
see
for a
you
couple
early
of
next
beers,
week.
John. Yeah.
Ooh, can't wait. You're down first.